Hey, everybody. How we doing tonight? Seen a couple of you guys were in here early. Thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way in. It helps out a ton, from what I'm told. And yes, PJ, I had to turn you blue again because you keep changing names on me. Quit changing accounts so much, and you might have to worry about it. Stacy's mom, FarQ, how you guys doing tonight? Vibe, how's your night going? Hope you guys are having a good holiday weekend for those of you that are in the United States. Hope you guys had some good family time, got away from all the nonsense, gave yourselves a little bit of a break. You didn't mean to get banned? Sure you did. Sure you did. If you weren't so damn confrontational, you wouldn't get banned all the time. Is this your first time getting in trouble? PJ's always causing issues. It's crazy. After almost a year, if not more than a year, off, I come back on and you guys start up right where you left off at. Oh, it is your first time getting in trouble? Well, welcome to the group. I don't know if you want to be part of that group, but you are now. Man, we are getting hit with some serious snow here. What's the weather like where you guys are at? We were supposed to get all this snow this morning, and then, well, last night into this morning, and it didn't get here until this afternoon, and then it cranked up as soon as it got here. After 6 years, well, you didn't learn anything in those 6 years, did you? Snowed, then rained. Oh, that's the worst. Well, rain then snow is also the worst too. Either way you take it. And I'm surprised you guys aren't getting more snow up in New Hampshire. We got hit with the cold weather for about a week, and then the snow came in right behind it. So it gave us a gradual ramp up to the wintertime. No, FarQ, you don't want to touch snow. Well, maybe, because have you ever seen snow before? Have you ever been around snow, Far? Watching these games? Yeah, my sports teams have not been nice to me over this holiday. All of them have let me down. No, FarQ, you haven't. Well, trust me, you like it at first. It's fun at first, and then after you're in it, year after year after year after year, it starts to suck. It's always like, I don't know. It's always one of the most beautiful times of the year, though, too. When you're driving and everything's just covered in snow, like you get a fresh snowstorm, and like you're one of the first cars out on the road, and like there's not even any tire tracks in the snow, and you're just like driving on roads. It's kind of a cool feeling to know, like, oh, I'm the first one on this road, you know. And then when you're looking into the trees, and especially like the pine trees and stuff, when they get covered in snow, they look really pretty. Other than that, it's really not a lot of fun. I tried hunting in this stuff, and man, oh man, it's miserable. The first few years of hunting, I loved it, and then now it's just like, yeah, it's not even worth it. Not only do I have to freeze my hind end off to hopefully see a deer, then I gotta also, track the thing down after I shoot it, then go and gut it, and then drag it all the way out. By the time you're done, you go from cold to sweating your life out to your lungs about ready to fall out because it's so cold outside. It's not always fun. Yeah, I never lost my channel, so I never got in that much trouble. So you're in a whole new category of your own, PJ. See, I don't know. As much as I hate the snow, I don't think I could do a winter without snow. I don't think I could actually handle that. I don't know. I've never done it, so I couldn't tell you. Even when I was in the military, I was stationed and over in the Northeast, and you know, we get dumped on over there. Well, you used to. I don't know if they still do. I know in like Buffalo and stuff, they still get hammered pretty good. Buffalo, New York. Making snow angels is fun, but being outside for too long, never very fun. Yeah, you got frozen falling iguanas. It's kind of like drop bears in Australia. Seafar, you gotta get on. I don't know what that means. Oh, so never mind. 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, gotcha. See, I still don't know all the Celsius and all that crap. I can never convert them. Yeah, that's cold for where Stacy's mom's at too. So have you guys kept up on any of the news here lately? You're sad you can't ride your bike. Yeah, I'm good on all that. I saw some of your videos from earlier this year though. I'm not huge into to exercise anymore these days. Doom doom doom. Oh, I thought I played it. Sorry guys, I'm playing with music here a minute. It's bad. I have to have something in the background. My brain's got to be able to focus on something else. Gotta see how loud this is. I can never remember how loud I put it every single time. Well, I've only been back for a couple, so it's not like I can never remember how loud I put it every single time. Well, I've only been back for a couple, so it's not like never remember how loud. Oh, I can hear myself echoing. I don't like that. Why is it so quiet this time? I feel like I had it super low last time. No, this time I got it way higher. I can hear it echoing. I can hear it echoing. All right, we're gonna turn that off. Sorry, guys. Still trying to get a hang of all this. See, I guess my exercising is just going out and hiking, like during hunting season and before hunting season when I'm out scouting and all that. And yeah, it is ADHD. I know that. Yeah, I did forget how to YouTube, PJ. All right, give me a break here. It's only my fourth live stream back. Work with me. Or is it my third? My third live stream back, right? I don't know. Either way, give me a break here. Did you forget how to live stream, Mrs. I lost my account? Yeah, I knew this was Rowdy. I remember you changed your name back before I stopped streaming. Yeah, I remember. And I think I said hi to you last time too. I just used your actual name, not Rowdy. I just have to call PJ PJ because it's just how I know her. I'm glad you made it in. I got all my mods here tonight. You guys are going to be so busy modding each other. You're going to have to watch out for each one of you guys on what you guys have to say. I guess you are a rebel. Dang it, I was doing something and then I got sidetracked. Those of you guys that celebrated Thanksgiving, though, did you guys have a good holiday? Do you guys eat plenty of food? I actually do got to pull my chat up on my phone, though, so I can see what everybody's saying. You had all four kids here and my grandson. Nice. SG, you're not gonna get in trouble. We're pretty open with what everybody says around here. As long as you don't attack each other in chat, I really don't care. You got a chat full of women right now, so better watch how dirty you are. You might walk out of here with a new wife. You know PJ's always got her ice cream. Seriously? I don't think PJ can live without her ice cream. See, told you. Anyways, so how do you guys all feel about the our service members getting shot point blank range? Does everybody feel that that's just normal? Because I'll tell you, it's not exactly normal. You don't get much ice cream now. Well, I guess you got to change that. You got plenty of snow outside. Go make ice cream. Yeah, it is definitely beyond okay. It pisses me off quite a bit that these things are just starting to become like more prevalent. Now we have like completely innocent people. Like it's not even our it's not even our active service members. I mean, don't get me wrong. National Guard are active service members. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying it just like we're not even in any sort of a war, and our service members are just getting picked off, and it's not even by our own people. Yeah, one passed away, and I think the other one's still fighting for their life, which is sickening. You know, there's pictures of. Let me pull this up a minute. My computer is slower than shit. So there's pictures of all these Afghan refugees that came over. That look at this. Like this is back when we pulled out of the Middle East. Yep, PJ, I agree. It's going to get worse and worse. But this is just one of the planes that left when we pulled out of the Middle East. And do you guys see this? Like, look at across this. There are some women, some children. Like, here's a child, there's a child, there's a child, there's a child. But then if you look all the way across and back, you start to see nothing but middle-aged men. Like, look at this. There's a child. And I'm pretty sure there's probably more children in here. They're just so small you can't see them. But still, look at all these people. This is just one plane. All right. But look at all these people. How many of these people in here do you think hate the United States? How many of these people in here do you think are pissed off at the United States for what the United States came into their country and did? I mean, can you even can you even guesstimate how many people are on this plane? I mean, this is packed wall to wall, front to back, just packed full of people. And now, am I saying all these people are bad? No, I'm not. But look what one person from over there went ahead and did. You know, this is insane. You know, and how many of these people actually worked with our intelligence agencies? Because the man that did that, he worked with the CIA. The Afghani refugee that came in, he actually worked with our CIA. Ooh, I don't know if here's now. Let's see what this picture is. So this is in the United States right here, and it says food people percentage of U.S. households receiving SNAP benefits by ethnicity. So these are households that are receiving the SNAP benefits. You know, that huge, massive thing that everybody was just freaking out about because of the government shutdown and all that stuff. 45% of Afghan nationals that have came over here as a refugee or as migrants or whatever you want to call them, 45% of all of them, almost half of them, are on our SNAP benefits. 42% of Somalians are on our SNAP benefits. 34% of Iraqis. 34% of Dominican Republic. Look at all of this, all the way down. They're all on our SNAP benefits. And then if you look at right down here where it says white, all the way at the very bottom, it says white American flag. So I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on this. I'm assuming this is Americans. Only 8.6% of American population is on SNAP benefits. Look at all of these other countries that are taking up our food stamps for the people that are needy. So you're telling me that everybody that comes into our country, we have to support because they don't want to assimilate. But let's get back to the task at hand. I just wanted to show like this is just one plane that came over during that time. Um, Now let's look up the guy that did the shooting today, or today, not Wednesday. No, these people like this. This place is such a toxic wasteland. X, like there's just look at this, so much toxicity. This place is terrible. But that's what what social media has for us. Let me change this. I said I gotta put it right. So here we are. Here's the guy that actually shot. All right. He walked up, shot two of our service members right in the back of the head. Let's go to latest so that we get all the. What? How if I go to latest, there's nothing, but if I go to top, there's this right here. So this guy was an Afghan citizen who came over, and he worked with our intelligence agencies during our war on Iraq and Afghanistan and all that fun jazz over there. He actually worked hand in hand, was trained by our CIA, and was I mean, you guys, do you know who else was trained by our CIA? Do we remember? Maybe Osama bin Laden. But look at what these people, and I'm not just saying Afghanis. I'm saying look at what these people are being driven to. You know what I'm really nervous with this crap um, is that I'm worried about the fact that I mean, sad to say it, but I'm worried about the fact of people doing this kind of shit intentionally on one side or the other. Um, what do they call that? A red herring or a red flag event? What is that called? Yeah, something like that. Um, this shit is starting to get off the hinges on both sides, and I think what they're doing is they're trying to soften us up and get us used to the fact of what's about to happen or be okay with what's about to happen. Um, it's it's getting so bad that you just if you're a logical, simple-minded person that doesn't want to deal with all this shit or want to be involved in all this stuff, you have nowhere to look anymore because I don't think the right, the Democrats or the Republicans, I don't think anyone is um, innocent in any of this. I think it's both sides that are starting to drive all of this right into the ground, you know. But tonight's live stream is more going to be upon like you know, the Trump administration just not having any sort of a backbone. uh Let me just look here. Nope. They are all talk and Trump's True Social postings. Let's see if it pulls it up. There's so many people that are out here sharing all of his postings and shit like that. It's got to be on there. Oh, hey, look at now. Let me make sure this is the right one. Nope, that's not the right one. There's ones that he has posted. Like here. The Republicans or the right, quote unquote, want to talk about rhetoric all the time that the left is having. In which, don't get me wrong, the left has some nasty rhetoric. It is getting people killed. It's getting people hurt, and it's no good for the country. But the right isn't any better. And he says the animal that shot the two National Guardsmen with being critically wounded and now in two separate hospitals is severely wounded, but regardless will pay a very steep price. God bless our great National Guard and all of our military and law enforcement. These are truly great people. I, as President of the United States and everyone associated with the office of the presidency, am with you. Now, the guy that shot these two is an animal. All right. But the point of him saying that they will pay a very steep price, they're going to pay the same price as what anyone's going to pay that would do this sort of thing. Um, and knowing his presidency, they'll probably get off pretty much scot free because this guy, he turns everything into bronze. He don't turn anything into gold. Um, no, he doesn't want all immigrants gone. He wants all illegal immigrants gone, and he wants people that don't have the American spirit or American values. He wants to uh, denaturalize them and then get them out of the country. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's going to start getting worse than what it is. And, like he's already winning all of these court cases in the Supreme Court. Like he hasn't lost a single one yet. So, it might take time, but he's getting all this stuff passed and saying that he's doing it legally. So he's getting all the permissions. Let me catch up on chat here. Give me 1 second. Let me jump back over. I was on a different screen. Do. Yeah, PJ. Like you said earlier, it is going to get worse and worse. Yeah, I mean, but what else? Like, what other ways do everybody have um, to express? Like we have all this representation in the House and the Senate, but nobody's doing anything for us. So all that does is leave those guys just like any war. All they are is cannon fodder. Like Trump's putting the National Guard out on the street, like this kind of stuff isn't going to happen. You know, don't get me wrong. Like you have to, um, you have to put a crackdown on it. But the problem is with him is that he's going half-ass on everything. Do I feel that he's doing the right thing or the wrong thing? That's really, it doesn't have anything to directly do with me, so I don't have much of an opinion on it, on how he goes about it. But and then these 600,000 Chinese students, that was before um, China decided to pull all the stunts that they've been pulling. So that might be off the table now too. And if those Chinese students are coming here, especially with everything that is going on, they're going to be put under like huge scrutiny. Yeah, but I don't know, PJ. All of this stuff, like, I don't think that you should move to a country to be on their welfare. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Um, like, besides maybe Europe somewhere, name another country that you can move to and just automatically go straight onto their welfare and have their country start taking care of you. We won't be paying their education. They'll be part of that what is it, the S1B visa or whatever that stuff is. I don't know which one exactly. SB1 visa. I don't remember. And again, that was just until um, China decided to pull their stunts. PJ here, all of our motels are filled with the Chinese. They teach them to fly here to, yeah, yep. A lot of countries are turning to the Chinese for a lot of help because the Chinese are sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, big bad America, putting all these tariffs on you guys, and we'll swoop in and we'll be the good guys." But what they're going to do is they're going to end up buying all your farmland and all your road structuring and building your bridges for you, and then they're going to get their claws in so deep that they're going to end up owning your country. Not yours specifically. I'm saying what they're doing it to the countries that they're doing it to. And it is hypocritical. Trump did want to get rid of the migrants or immigrants, but he wanted to get rid of that's the thing is like everybody's playing the verbiage game. Like they're um it's all in the words that they say. Like he doesn't want to get rid of the immigrants. He wants to get rid of the illegal immigrants, right? The ones that came in here illegally. Just like he all of a sudden shut off Joe Biden's auto pen. Like everything that Joe Biden's auto pen signed is no longer it's all null and voided. And it's like, he keeps talking all these big games about everything that he's going to do. And what ends up happening is that some lower level judge ends up stopping him every single time. Every time. Anytime he tries to do anything, a lower level judge is going to step in and shut him down. Let's see. He's had some recent True Social posts of um let's see. What's this? His daily posts from his True Social account. Oh no, nothing. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to get a True Social account. Like, I know I can find stuff on here. Let me. Back one more. Stopping all third world. Yes, there is. Oh, I'm on the wrong one again. Whack-a-mole. I don't know. SG, you're from the US, right, or no? 73 million views and over 543,000 likes on President Trump's greatest post of all time. Do you guys see this though? Like, look at these people. I don't understand on how you could put so much faith into one individual who has not accomplished anything. Like, Okay, yes, he shut down the border. That's the only thing that this man's done. Okay, you are in the U.S. Perfect, and so yeah, it is whack a mole. But he hasn't done anything. So why is everybody putting so much faith into him that he's going to be able to get any of this done? What's going to end up happening is that these these situations are going to um, continue to escalate, and then it's going to go to an all-out martial law. How is he people's idol? I have no idea. I really don't know. I mean, the only thing that Trump's ever been able to do is be a smooth brain, smooth talker. That's all he's been able to do. Um, he is. I'm not gonna put it past him on the fact that he is a smart businessman, but and being in charge of the economy, maybe like that would be a good place for him. He belongs in somebody's administration cabinet. He doesn't belong as the president of the United States. That's all that I know. Yeah, I love our country very much as well, and I know our country is the greatest country in the entire world. But the problem is that our country is starting to turn into every single empire that's ever existed. You know, you reach a peak, and then all of a sudden you just absolutely collapse. And that's the point where our country's at right now. The United States is literally on the verge of an internal collapse. On the world stage, we're still the most powerful nation in the world, and I think we always will be. I don't think China will ever have a chance. Um, Everybody talks about China's military power and all this other stuff, but their military power is just a bunch of tinker toys compared to the United States. Like they got nothing on us. They might have more ships. They might have more this, more that, more this, but all of it's made out of it's all paper mache. But internally, we are literally on the verge of just tearing ourselves apart. But here we go. Let's read what he says here. He says third world countries to allow in the United States system to fully recover, terminate all millions of Biden's illegal admissions, including. Oh, I accidentally clicked on it. I hate how your finger can hover over it and it all of a sudden wants to sense it. Um. Anyways, terminated millions of Biden's illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country. And all federal benefits and subsidies to non citizens to our country. Denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility. Now, denaturalizing people is people that have came to our country, have gotten their citizenship, and now live in the United States as a United States citizen. So what he's talking about is people that are like in our Congress. You have a bunch of people that are from Muslim-based countries. You have people that are from Somalian countries. You have people that are from several different countries that are in our Congress. And what he's saying is that he's going to strip them of all their stuff, of all their abilities, denaturalize them, and kick them out of our country. Well, and that's going towards SG. That's going towards something that I want to talk about too. But all of his businesses failed. All of his businesses have failed. But all of his businesses couldn't have failed too bad if he's still almost a billionaire, right? So we can. I mean, and if you get into the whole if you actually dig into finances or financial and how our financial system is actually created, um, there's a lot of itty bitty little loopholes. that are there, and he's able to bounce around in them. Donald Trump is just another nepo baby, like the rest of these people are. Back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, um, and even into the 90s, you had a lot of these families that were just running the government, and that's exactly what they were families that were running the government. And now all these people, the Bushes, the Bushes, the Trumps, the I mean, there what are the other ones? The Kennedys. Uh, like a lot of these people have been in them. The Clintons have been in for a very long time, and what they did is they just programmed their children to take over from where they were at. But getting back to like finances and stuff, if you talk to some of these billionaires, they'll tell you that debt is a friend. Debt is your friend. And having debt is actually a good thing because you can leverage your debt to put yourself in even more debt, and then you can leverage that debt to get yourself more money to put yourself farther in debt, and before you know it, you have $1 million worth of assets, which you are now in debt with. But those $1 million of assets that you have, you can turn around and sell for $4 million, and you can pay off your debt, and then all of a sudden you're a millionaire. So the more debt that you actually have, it sounds bad, but it actually can be beneficial if you use it in the correct direction. But so what he's trying to do now is he's going to try kicking out all of these people, and he's already trying to do that now. And look at the problems that he's having already. So the only way that he'll be able to actually do the things that he's saying is if he ramps this stuff up exponentially. And all that's happening is these events keep happening that keep giving him a reason for half the country to agree with him. The people that have voted for him, the people that want this kind of stuff, which is literally, well, not really half the country. We talked about it before. It's really only a quarter of the country, but it's the quarter of the country that gets out and votes and who are some of the loudest people that are out there. But um, he's getting them all riled up so that when the time comes that he takes these bigger steps, that they're all going to be okay with it. Well, yeah, that's the thing is like you have to have debt to get a credit score, right? Having no credit and having no debt is almost worse than having bad credit and having tons of debt. So, it's all just a huge shell game. That's all that this stuff is. And again, they program and have programmed all of us on a massive scale. I mean, going back to, let's talk about, oh, just a second, I guess these. Excuse me. Sorry to those using earphones. I couldn't mute fast enough. Excuse me. Sorry. But if we go back to, the early days, way back, let's let everybody wants to talk about Hitler these days. Well, thank you, thank you for the God bless you. People want to talk about Hitler these days. Well, he was the ultimate manipulator, and all they did was and took the things that he's taught or that he taught the world and have condensed it way down. I mean, people want to sit here and talk about how like Nazism died with Hitler and at the end of that war, and it didn't. I mean, you guys remember Project Paperclip? I don't know why my sinuses just went nuts about a half hour ago. But you guys know Project Paperclip. They took a bunch of Nazis and placed them all over the world and put them in positions that, like, I mean, NASA was created by an ex-Nazi, or not an ex, but a Nazi. So our international space or our space station and our space station. Goodness gracious, our space agencies was created by a Nazi. Like, nuclear bombs were created by Nazis. Like, a lot of what we have these days were created from the Nazis. Like, people just don't. We don't want to do enough research anymore to understand these things. It's your candle, probably. But let's get back to this for a minute. These goals will be persuaded with the aim of achieving, or pursued, sorry, with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything in the American stands for. He's starting to, and excuse me for having to constantly sniffles. Um, but look how much he's ramping up. If he's talking about a reverse migration, that's not just a couple of million of people. That's not offering people $2,000 or $1,000 or whatever to leave our country. That's going into cities, going into towns, and rounding these people up worse than what he already has. What's this one? A very happy Thanksgiving situation. Well, here's some numbers, and the thing though too, like with Trump, is that the numbers that he puts out and the things that he says, like half the time it's off the hip, but when you go and look at a lot of it is his numbers might not be perfect, but they're pretty close. He says, "A very happy Thanksgiving and salutation to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct. Just plain stupid when it comes to immigration." So not only did he just like call out half of our country, now he's calling out other countries for being stupid. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to a lot of these things, I do tend to agree partially with him, and it's only partial because I never fully agree with anyone. Um, but some of the things that they're talking about needs to happen. I was firm with wanting to shut down the borders. I didn't want to have a free and open border. Um, I didn't want to let anyone and everyone in. Do I care about allowing immigrants in? Yeah, come in the correct way. I think you should have the opportunity to come to the greatest country in the world and create a life here. But I don't think you should break every one of the laws that we have when it comes to immigration just to get into our country and then be welcomed with open arms. Like I don't think that should be a thing. But here he is stepping up his rhetoric. Do you get that? Like he's ramping up his rhetoric that could possibly get people that are on the far side of the other side of the aisle to go out and do evil things. Now, getting back to what SG had said in here earlier about religion, I don't think everybody understands that the most of the morals, the moral fiber that is in just about every country in the world comes from some sort of religious background. Um, Most of these countries that are out here, especially on the large stage, have a religious background dominance to them. And I think that we're just like SG, and I know PJ will agree with me on this. I think we're entering into a severe, major religious war. And I think it's going to be fought right here in our homeland. Man, my sinuses are going nutso. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people per the census. So if you look up the census in the United States, 53 million people are here from foreign countries. That's a lot of people, especially if we have 300 and something million that are here. 50 million of them are from other countries. That's a large amount. Most of which are on welfare, which we already looked at that stat. A lot of them are on our welfare, and they have a lot of them have came from failed nations. I have to go. My phone is dying. I wish I were. Well, thank you for stopping in at SG. Glad to have had you. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning 30,000 with a green card will get paid roughly 50,000 in yearly benefits for their family. So, how many of us that are making 30,000 a year are getting 50,000 in yearly benefits, or 50,000 in any kind of help, in any way, shape, or form? I don't. I mean, I don't make that much, but I also don't get that in any kind of benefits. Actually, I don't get any kind of benefits. Everything I have to pay for. Now, if we break down a lot of these things, when it comes to a lot of the things that Trump talks about, you guys, if we broke it all down and you guys heard my side of things, like, you guys would probably think that I'm a fan of Donald Trump and I agree with all the things that he does and all the things that he's saying and stuff. And I'm not. Like, I'm really not. I'm not a fan of this man. Um, but the one thing that I don't think everybody understands either is that if we get someone like JD Vance or Marco Rubio into the offices as a president, you guys better watch out, because they won't be half-assing anything. They're going to go pedal to the metal, and I mean, it'll be bad. Um, the real migrant population is much higher. The refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II. Failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, and large deficits, which all of that is actually true. I don't know if I would take Rubio over Vance any day. I think anybody would. Um, and I don't know if that's true after World War II, but we do have failed schools. The failed school system altogether is a failure. We have a lot higher crime rates. There is a lot of urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages for sure. Affordable housing, I should say. Someone tried to say I was MAGA. I laughed lots. No, I have zero sides. I don't even like to vote. Yeah, see, I'm the same way. You're not gonna put me in a category, and that's one of the live streams that I'm gonna do here soon in the future, maybe tomorrow night, is about how America fought, a civil war, and a lot of it was over. I'm not gonna go that route. Uh, America, we fought so hard to not have segregation in this country, but yet we fight so much with segregating ourselves. We put ourselves into political categories, we put ourselves into religious categories, we put ourselves in sexual categories, we put ourselves in color categories, we put ourselves or ethnic categories. We do nothing but put ourselves into all these little categories. We are a country full of a bunch of cliques, like in high school. I would take anyone in office any day. They all need to go. I agree, PJ. Like, I think we need to completely start over and build back up again. But I think it's way too late for that. Um, As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as a wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. Now, here goes again into like our morals that were created and designed by religious backings. Um, a lot of us know that it's not morally correct to go out there and damage, our cities just to prove a point. Like, why are we going to go damage our stores and burn our stores down and burn down our buildings and break windows and, graffiti everything? Like, that's not an okay thing to do morally. Like, you can get your points across in so many different ways. We're not going to go out and tear our stuff down. Now, a lot of us don't want to go to prison. A lot of us don't want to spend the night in jail. A lot of us don't want to risk our jobs. A lot of these morals were built in from, being a Christian nation. Now, again, like these Somalians that are over in Minnesota, they don't have our morals. They don't have our moral fiber as an American in any way, shape, or form. Now, if they came here and they wanted to assimilate and become part of our culture and become part of our laws and our structure and all that, then it wouldn't be a problem. But these guys aren't. What they're doing is they're coming from Somalia, moving to towns that are majority Somalians, and then they're creating little Somalia inside the United States. The same thing is happening with the Muslim. They're going to, like Dearborn, Michigan, where there's thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of these Muslim individuals, which is fine. But they're not coming to our country to assimilate. They're coming to our country and are trying to create Sharia law. And I don't know if everybody knows what Sharia law is, but this is even happening down in Texas. Texas actually had to put a ban on Sharia law. We have people in our government that want to create Sharia law, especially those that blame Tylenol for autism. Yeah, I still can't get behind that one. I guess there's studies, but there's studies for everything these days, right? So it would be one thing if all these people were coming into our country and wanting to be American, but they're not. They're coming to our country and still wanting to be who they are. And that's not the point of migrating or immigrating to another country. Like, I'm not going to be able to go, me and 500 of us, or let's say me and 10,000 of us, or me and 100,000 of us, we're not going to be able to go to, let's say China, and all of a sudden start changing China into America. Like, that's not going to happen. That won't happen if we try to do that over in Afghanistan or Iraq or Iran or, Syria or any of these Middle Eastern countries. It won't happen. Their governments won't allow it. So why is it okay for them to come to our country and do that? Because our government allows it. Now, let's look at here. Let's look at how he's ramping up his rhetoric again. He says this seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman or congresswoman, goodness gracious, in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped up in her swaddling hijab, who came into the U.S. illegally, and that you are not allowed to marry your brother, which that is true. She falsified marriage documents to her brother, or actually she got married to her brother so that she can come into the United States and get him a green card to come in as well. Yeah, Dearborn is crazy. Dearborn is unreal. But I mean, this word right here, retarded, like that used to be that used to be, goodness gracious, now I got hiccups. What in the world is going on tonight? That word used to be unable to be said on many platforms because it was derogatory, it was wrong. People are like, "Oh, you can't say that," blah blah blah. And now all of a sudden, he's just throwing it out there, and he's talking about Ilhan Omar, who married her brother. And look, I mean, look at the rhetoric that he's ramping up. But you know what the funny thing, like the whole point of all this is that he's not gonna be able to do anything about it. Trump is all talk, no action. Marco Rubio is all talk, no action. Pam Bondi is all talk, no action. Like, it's ridiculous on why people think that he's going to be able to get anything done. The only way that he's going to get anything done is if he becomes full dictator or authoritarian, like these people want to call him, and just go ape shit. It's the only way that he's going to be able to get any of this done. I'm trying to find like some pictures. Maybe I need to do Muslim rallies. Let's see if that pulls up anything better. Oh, no. Come on. I want to look at just one guy screaming and yelling 700 different times. And that's the other thing too, is like, you guys realize like, look at how many people are reposting the exact same thing. And then when you look at it in your feed, it's just nothing but the exact same things. But this guy's sitting here yelling for an intifada revolution, which means he wants the Muslims to take over the entire United States. He wants what happened to our National Guard's men and women to continue to happen more and more and more. Come on, where's the... Let's see if this comes up. And don't judge my spelling. It goes something like this. Watch, it's not gonna let me. It's all the same stuff. You guys see this? This is what is wrong with X. It's all the same thing over and over and over again. Let me go like this. Thousands march in Dearborn. Same guy comes up every single time. That is ridiculous. Same guy, time and time and time again. Like, I don't want to see this dude. Look at that. I just scrolled down a bunch and it's still the same guy. This isn't, that's not Cam Higby. I don't know who that guy is. Nick Sorter, I think it's his name, maybe. Maybe not. I don't remember what that kid's name is. He's all over the place. So look at this. It's all just the same shit. see if I can change the search here. Why does it not let me? It's so annoying. Let me change this again. Since this feed thinks I want to watch the whole thing. Photos of Let me see if that works. God, there's that guy again. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This just makes me want to rage. And go back to my homepage once. I thought maybe because I was searching all that stuff that it would pull up something, but I guess not. Let me go to Grok. Grok will give me what I'm looking for. Photos of marches. In Dearborn, Michigan. Oh, there needs to be a space in there. But make sure you guys hit that like button for me, even if you're just listening. I'd appreciate it. Let me view the gallery. Let's see what this is. I'm going to pull it up on another page so that a bunch of weird stuff don't come popping up on me somewhere. No, that wasn't what I was looking for. Let me see if this was it. That's a photo of it. You know what? Let me get off of X and let me just look at. Let me see if I can pull it up like this. Let me see if I can do that. Let me go to images. Thank you guys for still listening. Even though I haven't been talking all that much this last few minutes. All right, let me stop sharing this. And then let me share a different screen. Let's share this. Is that showing now? Yeah. All right. So here are some of the photos of marches that are in Dearborn, Michigan of Muslims. They have bigger photos of it. But I mean, look at this. Look at these streets are just lined with these people. This is an army of 30,000 Muslims right here that are marching. 30,000. I mean, this is insane. And like this is 30,000 Muslims. It's not even 30,000 just Afghans or anything like that. These are just 30,000 Muslims whose religion is completely backwards to our religion. And here, look at all these photos. There's a record setting amount of people here. That was the Arbenine, whatever that, I'm butcher that, but that was a march in Dearborn. Like, I don't know. That stuff is just, that whole ordeal is just getting to be crazy. But hey, how you doing, BBTV? And you can chat if you want to. This channel no longer goes down the same road that it used to, so there shouldn't be a lot of the old mischief coming in here. So you should be pretty good. The Proud Boys are coming around again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nick Shirley. There you go. I called him Nick Sorter, but yeah, his name was Nick Shirley, and he is in Portland a lot. He's everywhere. He's everywhere these days. But no, I mean, if you guys look at everything that Trump's trying to do right now, everything's getting stopped. Every time I turn around, something's being stopped by a lower court this and a lower court that. He's the president of the United States being stopped by federal judges. Like, come on, you guys. When we really think about him being this new savior, did I watch that? Watch what? I don't. What did I? What are you asking if I watched, AJ? I'm glad to see you around, BT. I won't call you by the name I know you as, but it's good to see you around. Yeah, I mean, I saw all of it on video, but I wasn't there. Um, in the town hall meeting where the Muslim, I think it's Muslim city council or something like that. Don't quote me on all this. Go up and do your own research. Heaven, and I know, heaven forbid, you have to go out and do your own researches. But that's one of the things we're lacking these days too, is people don't know how to go out and find their own information. All they do is listen to dumbasses like me on the internet and then take their word for, gold. But yeah, I watched all that. Yeah, the police won't do anything because everybody nowadays are all living in fear. We're living in fear of being called Islamophobic. We're in fear of being called racist. We're in fear of being called, everything. Like, for the longest time there, like, progressive natures have been taken over big time. And everybody got scared because every time you said anything or did anything, you got canceled. And so everybody was scared, and now even these days when you go and you try to um, uphold the law, all of a sudden you're getting sued, you're getting this, you're getting that, you might be thrown in jail, you might be put in prison, and it all depends on the judges. There was one judge in Minnesota that just overturned a jury's decision. There was a jury that decided that all these people were guilty of $7 million in fraud, and the judge that was overseeing the case turned around and said that the jury was wrong, and she's overturning their ruling and finding them not guilty. And it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, we take them to court, a jury of their peers find them guilty, and the judge says, "Oh, nope, not guilty." And so it's like, what are these police supposed to do? Let's say that the police or anybody decide to lock them up, and then you have a left wing judge that decides, oh, that police officer was being racist, we're letting them go. And then those people are back out on the street, and now those people are back out on the street pissed off that this judge was racist, or this police officer was racist against them or Islamophobic against them, and now have a reason to go after him. And this is happening all around our country. But the administration is the one that, talked about how he was going to change this country and we were going to make it better. Remember the Make America. Goodness gracious, I don't know why I'm getting hiccups. Man, they're the most annoying thing in the world. But he was going to make America great again, all this other stuff. But yet, it's just like his first presidency. Everything that he's trying to do is getting backhanded. And everything that he's doing is like he's taking all the low-hanging fruit. I mean, that's all that he's doing. He's not attacking any major problems that are going on in this country, and he's not attacking them full force. He's doing everything half-assed, and he's doing everything like, all these other countries that he's sitting here making deals with and all this other stuff, like he's not doing anything for for the American people at all. He's saying, oh, this is going to take time. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. Sorry, buddy, but America doesn't have time. Our country, the way that it's going now, doesn't have time. That's the one thing that we don't have. And every single day's news cycle, there is something new. And all it does is make you forget about the last thing. Like, where are all the pro-Palestine people at? Where are all the marches to free Palestine? Where are those going down at? Where are, all these thousands and thousands of people that were marching in the streets? Where are they at? Is Palestinians not a thing anymore? Is the whole war of Israel and Gaza not a thing anymore? Because that thing's still going. It hasn't ended. Yeah, they got the hostages back, but the war's not done. There's people still over there dying. There's still Israelis killing Palestinians. There's still Palestinians killing Israelis. It's still going just as strong as it was before, and nothing's fixed. Where are all those people at? Oh, that's right. There's new news cycles out there. America's bombing Venezuela boats. America is doing this. America's doing that. Now all of a sudden, we're at the point where we're not going to help Ukraine anymore. Good. They didn't want to help all those guys in the first place. Like, he's not doing anything or accomplishing anything in any way, shape, or form. So for these people to put so much stock into the Trump administration, it's sad to see. And even the Trump administration is starting to turn on itself. You got like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who just stepped down because she was like one of the biggest MAGA people out there. And now she's stepping down because Trump decided to, turn against her. Because she wants to look at America and America only. She don't want to have to go around and, sell our country to all these Middle Eastern countries. When he's talking about he's made $20 trillion or whatever the fuck he's claiming nowadays, what he's done is he's taken little parts of the United States and sold it off to these little countries. And again, when these countries decide, hey, we want our money back, we want our investments back, and we want to recoup the money from all that, guess what country is going to end up struggling and paying for that? That's going to be the United States. Those $20 trillion that they're investing into our country, they're not just saying, here's $20 trillion, we're giving it to you. No, they're saying, here's $20 trillion, and this is what we want from you. Which a lot of it's coming into American businesses, investments into American businesses. So when that money decides that it no longer runs its course and they want their money back, guess what's going to happen? They're going to take all their money back, and then all those American businesses are going to crash. And then what's going to happen? The American economy is going to go to shit, and then we're going to be one of the weakest countries in the world because we just sold $20 trillion of our debt to these countries. And the other thing is you guys got to remember, he's only going to be here for 4 years. So what's going to happen after those 4 years? Cool. He's bringing in $20 trillion this year. Cool. But what's going to happen after those 4 years? Is that $20 trillion going to be worth $80 trillion? to these other countries, and then they're going to want to pull all their money out. And now instead of 20 trillion, we owe 80 trillion. Like, I don't think people look into all of this very well. He didn't go over there and convince them into just giving us money. He didn't go over there and convince them to say, hey, give us a bunch of money so that we can build the American economy back better and greater. It's not how it works. The Trump administration, in my opinion, if they're going to do what they say they're doing, they need to. How's it going, Wilma? How are you? Good to see you, hon. The Trump administration, if he's going to do what he says he's going to do, he's got to go full force. Plain and simple. He can't keep half-assing it. The whole entire administration has no backbone whatsoever. Like when the government was shut down, guess who was the one that was in charge of the entire government, of all the decisions and everything that could possibly be done during that time? That was Donald Trump. And what did he get done? He didn't get shit done. He was the one in charge of the entire country's decisions. Every decision had to go through him. Had to. And what did he do? Nothing. He sat here and played the game until the government got, started back up again. He had all the opportunities in the world during those 40-some days that the government was shut down to do whatever his little heart desired. He didn't have to have any approval from the House. He didn't have to have any approval from the Senate. It was just him. The entire government was shut down except for him. He was the sole decision maker, and he did nothing. He's going after Letitia James and James Comey and people like that, and now that's getting thrown out because Pam Bondi, which they're appealing it now, but Pam Bondi doesn't know what the hell she's doing. It's a big farce. Like, all he is, he's all talk, no action. That's all he is. And everybody played into his little manipulative game. Now, don't get me wrong. I sit here today criticizing the shit out of Trump, but I did not want Kamala, period. I would take Trump every day of the week and twice on Sundays before I took Kamala. I did not want Kamala. But there's also another reason why I don't vote. Because you're not going to throw me into making a decision of something of that nature with only giving me two options. And the two options that you're giving me are the worst on each spectrum. They're both the worst on each end of the spectrum. You're not going to force me into voting, or you're not going to get my vote. And I know there's probably 100 million Americans out there that thought the exact same way. But again, like my message was the last time we were in the live stream, is that the only way that this country is going to change is by the American people. The actual red, white, and blue blooded American people. I'm not talking about the ones that are out here wanting to go all ape shit, right winged, or the ones that want to go all ape shit, fucking left winged. I'm talking about the normal American people that just want everybody, to love their neighbor, to look out for one another, have safe neighborhoods for our children, be able to afford a home, being able to afford groceries, being able to afford gas. Just normal Americans. They're the ones that are going to change this. And until everybody gets that through their brain, the far side of each one of these political aisles are going to rule everything. And the American people, and the real Americans, they're waking up. They're starting to wake up. I'm just hoping that it's not going to be too late. I just hope that it's not in a time where we're already so far gone that it's just going to be a nightmare. And I'm afraid, like I said, that all of these things that are happening um, in our country, with like we just had a lady that was lit on fire on the subway station uh, in Chicago, and nobody really threw a stink about that. We had that innocent girl that was stabbed on, I believe, a bus. She was a Ukrainian refugee. She was stabbed to death. We threw a quick stink about that, but nothing major. But now that somebody's being lit on fire on a train, now it's like that's not even a thing anymore. We have two service members that were just shot, point blank range. We had the assassination attempts on Trump, and I think a lot of these things are just they're red flag events. Oh, she was on a train, not a bus. Okay. Um, there's so many things that's happening. You can't keep track of what everything is anymore. And you go crazy trying to keep up with all of it. But like the assassination attempts on Trump, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I think all this stuff are just strategic events that are trying to push our nation into a certain direction. And I think what it's doing is starting to make our country get to a point where, just like I've been saying during this live stream, that people are going to be okay with Trump going full force. It's getting to the point where people are going to be okay with, creating martial law and shutting down the streets, or going full reverse migration and sending in, thousands upon thousands of National Guards, not just 500 here or 200 here or anything like that. I'm worried that they're going to send in thousands upon thousands into these cities, and before you know it, we're just going to be policed by our military, and the country's going to be okay with it, because I think people in the middle of both, the people that are on the left and the people that are on the right, but they're more centralized or centric or central or whatever, the people that are in the middle, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, but you're closer to the middle of everything. I think those are going to be the people that are just going to say, okay, this has to happen, and they're going to be okay with it. And that's going to be very dangerous times for everyone. I mean, they're already setting up for it. You can see it all happening. It's going to get to a point where, we're going to be worse than China when it comes to them going after our information. It's going to be easier for them to, do this Palantir stuff where they're doing facial recognition, and just from the facial recognition, they can pull up every one of your keystrokes on your keyboard to find out what type of person you are. And they can find you anywhere under any system, like God's eye, and people are just going to be okay with it, because the way that the country and the way that the world's going, they're going to feel that we need this sort of protection and this sort of interference, in our lives. And it's going to turn out to be worse than we could ever imagine. And again, Trump's doing everything half-assed. His entire administration is doing everything half-assed. They're a bunch of hot air balloons is all that they are. They get in front of a camera and they just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk a bunch of bullshit. That's all that they do. They have no action to back up anything that they're saying. Yeah, Wilma, Palantir is starting to move around a lot of places, and it's crazy. If you guys ever look into any of that. These Q people keep applauding martial law. They have no idea what they're advocating for. I used to be a Republican, but the left, the right paradigm wake me up in 2016. Yeah, I'm one of those ones. Like I said earlier, is you're not putting me in a category. I don't care what anybody says. I spoke out about Palantir in a video a year ago. Yeah, see, so you know what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to get put in a category. You guys aren't going to. You're not you guys specifically, but people are not going to call me a Republican. You're not going to call me a Democrat. You're not going to call me a liberal. You're not going to call me far left, far right, whatever. I'm just flat out American. Fuck you guys. You're not going to segregate me and put me in all these little classes that that mean absolutely nothing to me. Yeah, Peter Thiel. Yeah, yeah. But and when we look at what's going on in other countries, and we think that that stuff can't happen here, we're outside our minds. We gave the government complete ownership of our privacy years ago, and it's just going to continue to get worse. And what they're doing is they're conditioning us to make all this stuff okay, so that when it happens, it's not that big of a deal. They're conditioning us that martial law and the military police in our cities is a good thing, because look what's happening. People are getting our service members are getting shot in the back of the head. Well, guess what? 500 don't do it. Guess what they did? They went and sent in another 500. So they just doubled down. Then when 1,000 aren't doing it, guess what? They're going to send in 2,000. And if 2,000 isn't happening, they're going to send in 4,000. And it's just going to keep going and going and going and going. And don't get me wrong, that is the duty of our National Guard, is to guard our nation. That is a part of their duty. But it's going to get to a point where they're going to start if you're criticizing our government in any way, shape, or form, then you might get a knock on the door from military police. I'm just afraid that this is all conditioning for the big act. You guys got to remember, we're only in the first year of this Trump administration. We have 3 more years. And if things keep going the way that they're going, we're probably going to have another Republican president, because the Republicans are winning over a lot of people. Now, they are losing races. Like we've seen that they lost that race in New York, lost one in New Jersey, lost one, I believe, in Pennsylvania. But what people aren't realizing is that these are deep blue cities. These are deep Democratic cities. So, of course, Republicans are going to lose in those areas. Republicans aren't just going to come in and flip every Democrat known to mankind. That's not how it works. But if you look at what's going on around the country, the Republicans are tackling issues that a lot of the country has problems with, which is making them look like the good guys. And then once they have everybody brainwashed, then they're going to turn around and they're just going to start dropping the hammer on everybody. And again, they're going to have us so conditioned that we're going to be okay with it. So, well, guys, it's been an hour and a half. Been quite a bit longer than what I normally go. So make sure you guys hit the like button for me. Wilma, BBTV, thank you guys for stopping in tonight. The rest of my moderators, thank you guys for being here. At least I have somebody to listen to me ramble. Make sure you guys turn your guys' notifications on too, because like I said, I try to schedule my live streams a little bit of ahead of time so that you guys can see them. But yeah, make sure you guys have the notifications on. Make sure if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get this channel back out there again. It's going to take a little while, so I'm not expecting big things to happen fast, but every little bit helps. So if you guys could, share the video, talk about it. Hit the comment sections, and make sure you guys hit the like buttons. But hope everybody has a good rest of their weekend. Be looking at your notifications. I might go live tomorrow, talk about some more things. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, but thank you guys all for coming in. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys soon. Have a good weekend, everybody.